Hey, Wemberg World Entertainment, and do you want more Willem Dafoe Green Goblin in Spider-Man, or possibly the MCU overall? Because that's the new rumour doing the rounds, is that Willem Dafoe is in fact in talks to reprise the role of Norman Osborn / Green Goblin. It's just not known whether it's for Spider-Man 4, the Avenger movies, or something else. So, where do you think this comes from? Yes, of course it comes from My Time to Shine. But we'll have a look at it because he's teased his possible return himself. But the question I have is, what kind of version of the Green Goblin would we be getting after No Way Home? So let's have a look at this anyway. So it says, Willem Dafoe made his debut as the villainous Norman Osborn in 2002's Spider-Man, though the Green Goblin story reached a definitive comic-accurate end when he was impaled by his glider in the first movie, which I think was a bit dumb, but whatever. Despite that, the actor reprised the role in Spider-Man 2 and 3 as a spectre haunting his son Harry. However, the franchise ended before Norman could follow in the footsteps of his comic book counterpart by returning from the dead. It's worth noting filmmaker Sam Raimi has never suggested a resurrection was planned. Nearly 2 decades after first suiting up as the iconic villain, Dafoe reprised perhaps his most iconic role in Spider-Man No Way Home. Transported to Earth 616 before his death, Norman reminded us why he's Spidey's greatest foe by killing the wall crawler's Aunt May and very nearly turning Peter Parker into a killer. He also stabbed Tobey Maguire's wall crawler in the back for good measure. Cured and sent back to his own reality, the last we saw Oscorp CEO clearly devastated by what he'd done. Did a sane Norman returning to his reality create a new branched timeline, or does, get this, Peter 2's world now have heroic variants of the Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus and Sandman? Honestly, the multiverse of it all is a tad headache inducing. Why is Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man being referred to as Peter 2? Surely he would be Peter 1, seeing as he was the original that started the Spider-Man franchise. Doesn't matter whether, it's because Tom Holland is in the MCU and Maguire what. Screw that. Everybody knows Maguire was the first and should be Peter 1. So anyway, it says, we may get some answers soon, though as Scooper, My Time to Shine brings word today that Willem Dafoe is in talks to come back as Norman Osborn / Green Goblin. There are no additional details about whether this would be for Spider-Man 4, the upcoming Avengers movies, or even a post-Secret Wars MCU. More of Dafoe's Green Goblin would be far from a bad thing, of course, and if the other Spider-Men return, it stands to reason that some familiar faces could join him. Here's hoping we see more of the Goblin than Norman Bow, given how phenomenal Dafoe is in the role. Doing the rounds to promote Nosferatu last December, Dafoe was asked if he'd be down to continue Norman's story in Spider-Man 4, and this is what he said then: we'll see. I could come back. Listen, Tom was great to work with, and the whole series of Spider-Man films that I did were great fun. So you hear him there saying, I could come back. When he's saying it like that and saying we'll see, that sounds like he is in conversations to come back. Now it's interesting they're saying, we'd hope to see him back, but they specifically are indicating as Green Goblin, not so much as Norman. Which this is where I asked the question then. If he was cured, by the way, I should have gone back to that, cured and sent back, for anyone who didn't see Spider-Man No Way Home stuff, wondering what the hell do you mean cured. They came up with a way of curing villains from being villains. Bit dumb, but that's what it was, and it took them forever to actually get it to work on Green Goblin, Norman Osborn. And eventually it did, it kicked in and he got sent back. If you're bringing that variant of, he pretty much is a variant at this stage, isn't he? Because the way, this is this whole multiverse bullshit. But if he comes back and it's that version that comes back, he's not going to be the bad guy. And he's not going to be like this crazy, insane Green Goblin. So even people saying, oh, hopefully he would come back, but more as Goblin than as Norman. But he wouldn't be the Green Goblin that was in those movies because he's cured now. He would be a good guy. And let's be honest, we don't want to see that. Now, they could obviously bring him in as a different variant of Green Goblin where he's back crap crazy as he always is. But it's just kind of one of those, how exactly would you bring him back in that version to have him be the Green Goblin as much as Norman Osborn? Because he's cured. He wouldn't be insane anymore. He wouldn't have the persona of the Green Goblin anymore, you know? And of course he smashed his mask up in No Way Home as well. So it's not like he'd have that around either. So it's clear that there does seem to be conversations happening with him regarding him coming back. It's just a question of what version is he coming? Is he going to come back maybe from that Spider-Man universe, but the effect of the cure wore off and he's gone back to being insane? Or does he come in as a cured version of Norman Osborn to help them out, but variants of Green Goblin come true that he could portray as well? We don't know. It's all rumour at this stage, but we'll have to wait and see. And of course, as it says there, it's unknown whether it be for Spider-Man 4 or whether it be for the Avenger movies or whatnot. If there's variants, it would make more sense that it would be in probably Secret Wars rather than Doomsday. We'll wait and see. And what's really interesting is they're going to be filming Avengers Doomsday. I think it's this month. In the next couple of weeks, they're actually starting to film. Or it's next month. There's a lot of the cast have already apparently been photographed in the UK. So we don't even have Avengers. And nothing setting up Avengers. And yet they're about to film the next Avengers movie. Work that one out. It's weird and crazy what they're doing. But there's the rumour doing the rounds regarding Willem Dafoe possibly returning as Green Goblin. So let us know what you think about his return. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. Like, share, subscribe. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.